Anyway, so I'm really glad to be with, I don't know if it's Wayne's group or Linda's group. Linda, it used to be definitely your group, and then Wayne started sharing leadership, but your
It's
Wednesday
been
night.
a wonderful thing that Wade was willing to do it, and we are just thrilled because I'm so glad we can continue.
Yeah, and I want to hear from each one of you because as we're trying to stay connected in this time of COVID-19 and not being able to be together in the sanctuary for worship, we still can be together. So I want to hear from you and give you the chance to just comment on why you do make time to be in this small group. And so I'll just start with one of you and then I'll let you invite the next person, okay? So maybe we'll start with you, Linda, since you are the founder of this group, okay? And then you can invite someone to go next.
Okay. Well, it has been a joy all the years that we have done this Wednesday night Bible study. And friendships grow as a result of it, but also we seem to be, I don't know, I feel closer to the Spirit somehow as we interact in our studies, and it kind of spices over into friendships beyond it, the actual study. So it's been a blessing beyond a blessing. And we were amazing when Harold Drake was with us way back before he disappeared into the wilderness. So what the good news is that because we do meet and we do know that the Spirit is working, we know that Harold is taken care of some things. And he is still a part of my life. Also, we are missing physical contact with Scarlett Short. And so that's a kind of a loose stone there. I'm hoping we can see if she and Patty, or not Patty, but just Sally, would want to try this, but I've not called her and asked. But we do have quite a few people who are not with us that used to be. But it's just such a joy to share with everybody because the Spirit brings all these things out to people to share, and our lives are enriched by that. So thank you. And I can't say enough about Wayne's leading us. We are truly blessed. And having Wayne and Julia, sixth grade. So that's my contribution.
Well, thank you. Maybe we should have Wayne go next.
Okay. Well, certainly a lot of thanks to Linda for being the founder and longtime supporter of this group. We've been fortunate in the last few years that together we've been able to, I think, build and strengthen the group. I think now, at least I feel even personally more committed because of the lack of many other interactions we have with people in the church, that this is one way that we've been able to keep in touch and to maintain our relationship. So I think if anything, we've had more participation, particularly since we tried the email, my original idea. Yeah, when it doesn't work as well as it might, then we shifted to Zoom with some limited questions, keeping a more focused approach. So I think on behalf of our group, we'd certainly like to send out greetings to everyone, and certainly welcome to join us. Thanks. Julia?
Well,
say a word.
Yes, so for me, this is it's just like getting together with friends and family. And before there was COVID-19, I felt that way, and I still do. Yeah. Even more so since I don't get to see a lot of other people. It's good to get together with this group. And I enjoy the study we're doing too, where we do what the sermon will be on for the following Sunday. So that's always fun to try to understand that and then see what the pastor has to say on Sunday. But I think I really enjoy the people. I don't know, Joan?
Okay, well, I'm probably the newest member of the group, and from the beginning when I joined, just about a couple months before we got shut down, I always felt so welcome, and I made new friends, and and even the dog, who I just love, would come to our meetings, and it was just so nice to have a closer connection with people at the church. And now that we aren't getting together at all, other than on Zoom, it's really nice to not be silenced like I am at some meetings, and we can talk. And as Wayne said, we can sort of, just chatter a little bit before we start the serious work of looking into what the scripture has to say. And more, I am just so becoming aware of how the scripture applies to today, not just thousands of years ago. What we're talking about applies to today. And as Wayne said, it's interesting to have our discussion and then wait on Sunday and see what you or Kurt has to say about it. So I guess I'm grateful mostly for the community, but also for the learning. And I'll turn it over to Scott.
Oh, thanks, Joan. So first of all, hello, Trinity. Miss you. We'll get back together physically someday. So, when I think about this group and I look at who all is in it now, there's Duncan on the phone here, Linda, and they were the ones who invited me to the group in 2001, so 19 years ago.
Wow.
Very intimidated by these Bible scholars and me never having been in Bible study before. But now it's like, you hear the term comfort food. This is comfort time on Wednesday evening. And I always feel bad if I don't make it. And that happens sometimes. But anyway, glad to be here tonight.
That's great. So who else we have? Elizabeth or Lisa? Who wants to go? Lisa?
Me? Oh, good. Hi, everybody. And here's that little dog Joan was talking about. This is Helen's old dog, Annie. And she would always come to the Bible study with me. And I've got lots of pictures of just our feet with Annie sleeping in the middle of our circle. And now she's sleeping over here in the Zoom meeting again. So I've loved getting to know everyone in the group. And it's been over a few years now. And known Linda Odom for decades and decades. And from this group, I've received either mail or phone calls, emails, texts. So I've stayed in touch even though I was without internet for a couple of months, and so I'm back on that. And the Zoom meeting is a wonderful way. It was just such a great thing to see everyone's face today. Oh my gosh, what a treat, what a relief. And I don't know if anybody's like me, but every now and then I have, I dream about the coffee hour, or I dream about standing in the narthex, or I see myself in these places, and I feel like, and it's interesting that it's such a powerful feeling. I actually feel like I'm there, and it's just kind of comes in and out, and it's very good. And so anyway, I really like what Joan was saying about applying it to our lives. The struggles that I had in the last couple of years and trying to kind of piece together back my faith and my connection with God. And then everybody in the group was very supportive of me in that process. And I've just had some major processes that were wonderful through like the books and stuff we've read and the scripture. And I do really learn a lot from the scripture, because sometimes don't you feel like, hey, I know it all, but then you read some scripture like today about the Pharisees many of the Pharisees were part of the New Christians. And I never even thought of them as being part of the New Christians back then. And so you learn some really fun things along the way. So anyway, I'm happy to be here. Great to see everyone. Thanks for coming, Mary and everybody. Oh, and hi, Duncan.
Yeah, I think that was your invitation.
Well, I would have to say that I first got involved with small groups at the invitation of Linda Odom, like many of us. And my goodness, Linda, that was about 1988, probably. And
yeah.
have been very involved in small groups ever since. And it's such a joy to be able to rejoin this group because I'm up in Portland now. I live in Portland. But the group here has just continued with such a sparkle and a bright light of spirit that is truly an inspiration. And I'd like to add with regard to small groups that one of our pastors up here in Portland, Mary McKnight, made the comment with regard to small groups because they've gone very well at our church where I am involved now in Portland, Moreland Presbyterian. And she said, you know, this is actually what the original church was. It was people getting together and discussing the scriptures and how they applied to them. And through that, the Spirit came with them and each learned personally. It was like a one-on-one thing. And it certainly does work. As Linda knows, I've been very involved in small groups, including a cruise ship now ever since. And one of the things that when the virus came along, I think everybody was afraid that, well, you know, no, it's getting together personally that makes it work. And I don't know that the same spiritual presence is going to be there when you try it online. And the first couple of sessions, it was a little getting used to. But after that, things still work. They work online. And it's wonderful to have that connection and each one being able to personally participate. And the Spirit actually, you can hear, you know, God speaking through the people that are there. And it's a bright light for everybody, and I'm sure everybody comes away, as I've sometimes stated, everybody leaves with things that nobody brought in. And kind of the way it works. So it is a joy to be part of this group again, and I would encourage everybody to at least investigate small groups. They really work, and they are really fulfilling.
Thanks, Duncan. Thanks, Duncan. So, Elizabeth.
Yeah. So I've been part of the group, I guess, now for a couple of years. I started to coming for I think it was like Lamentations or some small group that was only going to last 4 weeks, and then that just wasn't enough, so I kept coming. I just really enjoy, again, like everyone else had said, just being a part of this church community and being able to be in scripture with everyone. I realized that I needed to be in scripture with people, and not just on Sunday, but throughout the week, that I needed to make sure I was in scripture, and just being able to hear everyone's perspective and the wisdom that everyone shares about the scripture has just been really meaningful to me and helpful, because again, like everyone was saying, it does apply greatly to our lives today. So it's just been a true blessing to be a part of this group.
Well, I do think you all get the most out of the sermons, you know, when you come having been in the scripture ahead of time. So I commend you for that, and I commend you for the commitment that you have made weekly for this. We do need each other. So I think this is just as important as the live stream, quite frankly, you know, to be in fellowship together. So thanks for letting me record you and giving you the chance to say hi to the congregation. And I'm glad to be with you tonight.